Christy.
Can you hear
Hey,
me?
how are you?
I'm
Yes.
good. Perfect.
Good. Have you had a good month so far? What all have you been working on? I know that we were talking a little bit about some of the levels when you had been changing things. It started to sound a little funky. So,
Yeah, it was sounding a little funky. Yeah, so I got some auditions done and submitted.
yeah.
Didn't hear anything, but that's okay. And then I started to go through some of my stuff that I was gonna put up, and then I was like, you know what? I don't really want to do that, and then end up taking it all back down because it doesn't sound right. So
Oh,
I was like, I want to make sure it sounds good before I go through all that because I don't want people to hear like something that sounds bad.
right. I mean, I would say you're showcasing also though like your vocal skills.
Right.
And some artists, so I know some voice actors who they actually never for auditions do any of the like professional editing and don't even record in like a studio setup. They're like I just do like on my phone or whatever, and then if they get the job, they go into a professional studio. Um so it kind of depends on your approach. So for
Okay.
some people, they're like, I only showcase what I do vocally, and then, if it's a good enough job, I'll go get a studio space, get an audio engineer, and they don't mess with any of that.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends on your approach. I personally like to be able to work from home, like to not have to like go through the
Right.
rigmarole of like scheduling studio space, scheduling an audio engineer. I like being able to do it like on my own schedule, at my own pace, in my own space. If
Right.
I never have to drive again, I'd be happy with
Oh
that.
my word.
So it's just kind of like my own personal taste,
Right.
um, that I'm just kind of like, yeah, I kind of like being a homebody. And I think it also kind of depends where you live too. Like if I lived in New York, I might not have space in my apartment.
Right.
I might, the noise from the street and stuff might just be so obnoxious and being like, paying like 5K for a soundproof pod to put in my corner of my tiny apartment. Like maybe
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Maybe it makes more sense to go into a studio, right? Um, Especially if I was doing other types of work as well.
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of depends on the individual. But for, what you're doing currently, I think especially with like since you're finding your own jobs and things, it's just nice to kind of be able to take it all into your own hands. So, I would love to go through and take something that is totally unedited and
Okay.
and just kind of go from the bottom up and let's
Mm-hmm.
see just by playing with it what we want to do. Because the basic like, here's just a standard thing doesn't work for everyone because equipment's different, the room's different. So we have
Right.
to make sure that we're tweaking it according to what works for you. So
Right. Okay. Do you want me
yeah.
to just put something in the chat?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So
Okay.
it doesn't even have to
Awesome.
be long. It's just something that we can play with.
Okay.
You
I'm
could do
just
like one,
gonna,
two, three, four, five, and that'd be
yeah.
fine.
Okay, let me see where I have it. Oh, I've got too many windows open. I'm sorry.
Oh, I
I
do
got so
that sometimes.
excited and I was like, oh, look at me.
One of my students was in person and she saw how many tabs I had open and like how many
Oh
different
my
things in my
God.
like toolbar. And she was
That's
so
too
overwhelmed. She
many.
was like, "How do you function?" And I was like, "Honestly, if I don't see them, I forget they exist. And so it's there to remind me." And she was like, "I would be so
I know. I
overwhelmed."
get the same way too. One of the ladies that I work with has like 100 tabs open, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, my husband, he like can't see my like phone notifications because it'll be like, "Oh, like you have 422 text messages
No,
that
I
are
can't do
unread."
that. I can't
And
do
I'm
that.
just like, I can't handle facing that many right now. And I will have a time where I sit down and tackle them. And he's like,
Mm-mm.
I can't ignore them. I have to deal. And I'm like, honey, I have over 10,000 unread emails. And
Oh
he's like,
my.
I would die. Like, I just go. I can't deal with it. So I
Right?
just focus on what I'm doing right now. And he's just like, I can't. Like he was like, I would just
That's
delete them all and start over.
I would too. I'm in that same boat because I have a friend who I go down to her house and she's got like thousands and thousands of emails. And I was like, how do you look at your phone with all those notifications?
But that's another thing. I'm like,
Because,
I can just turn off the little bubble thing that tells me how many
yeah,
there are, if that makes, my husband feel better.
I know. I'm like, sometimes I have to, like, I find myself going on social media just to get rid of the little bubble. Like, I don't need to be on there, but
Oh.
I'll just log in. And it's like it knows that it'll get me if it puts messages up there.
Ah.
So,
But see, you can just change your settings where you don't get the notification.
true, true. That's smarter than being annoyed by.
Or sometimes I just altogether delete the app. I'm like, Facebook, you're being annoying. Goodbye. Like, I
Yeah.
just don't use Facebook Messenger. I completely deleted the app. I was like, no, thank you. They made it where
Yes.
like you can no longer not have Messenger. And I'm
Oh.
like you
Hmm.
can't just like have Facebook. You have to also have the Messenger app. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that's annoying.
I just was like, yeah, I just won't use it. And I just deleted the app. And I'm just like, I don't check my DMs, so don't contact me that
Yeah.
way. Like
This
you
is the
have to
worst way to
actively
get in
like
touch with me.
comment on a post or something. I'm like, I will not check a DM. If you're supposed to have my number, you'll have it. If you need
Right?
it, you'll find it.
That's funny.
I just have like an automated response that's like, "Hi, I don't check DMs. If you need me, reach out to me at this number."
That's so funny.
And I'm just like, I will not check it. So if they don't do that, I'm like, it's not important.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you because, ugh,
I'm
yeah.
like, how am I supposed to check like DMs for all these different apps? And then I'm
Right.
also supposed to check my emails and my text messages and my phone calls and my voicemails. And I'm
It
just
is
like,
overwhelming. It is
it's too
overwhelming.
many ways to reach
Hmm.
me. I don't like it.
My oldest daughter just got herself a dumb phone. So
Oh,
like it
yeah.
doesn't have, I was like,
Old
you could have
school.
just taken all that stuff off. She's like, yeah, but then I just put it back on. And
Yeah.
she's like, I can make phone calls and I can send dumb text messages and that's
That's
it. I'm like,
awesome. That's
good
actually what
for
my
you.
brother-in-law does, which is so ironic because his job, he's a computer programmer. So like you
Oh,
would think he's a techie guy who loves all the bells and whistles, and he
right.
has like the ancient dinosaur phone, and he's
Yeah.
like, I don't want that. I do it for my work. And he's
Yeah.
like, when I'm home, I just want to be a person, you know?
I get
And
that.
I'm like, that's amazing.
That's awesome. Good for you.
I know, right? It's ironic. Like I would assume he'd want the latest tech, you know? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's like, "No, I just want basic and simple for phones."
Yeah. Yeah. So he knows that, the computers are taking over. So let's get the dumbest ones we can
Yeah,
find.
exactly.
Holy
That's
moly.
true. It could also be like spyware and like AI and data
Yeah.
collection. Yeah, they're like wanting to build a one of those like data collection centers in my neighborhood and
Oh,
everyone's
I'm
like pushing
sorry.
back and
Yeah.
is like I found out they basically are like making everyone's power bills higher and
Yeah.
making us pay for them to collect data on us.
Yeah,
And
we
I'm
live in that
like,
area that they did not, they didn't, the cities around us did that and they did not negotiate well. And they're like, oh, well, we'll get all this tax money, but they didn't look at all of the loopholes. So
yeah,
like one of the buildings that they built as a data center is also being used for a bank or something like that. And banks don't have to they don't have to pay property tax or like local taxes. So
so they
basically the
don't
people of
get
that
the
city
tax.
are getting nothing and all of the people who live there are essentially like paying the electric bill for them.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Like a lot of people their electric bills went up like it doubled
yeah,
from like $300 to $600.
which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It's like, okay, like now all of our health insurance is crazy expensive.
Right. Right.
And like they're wanting to cut like marketplace, but then like I know people who have corporate jobs who the corporations are like, yeah, health insurance costs too much, so we're just not going to provide it anymore. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what? And then
Yeah.
like they can't even really get it through the marketplace. And they're like, I'm
Mm-mm.
just not going to have insurance. And I have a full-time corporate job. And they're like,
Yeah.
what's up with
And then
this?
you have to pay a
And then you have
fine
the
for
data
not
center
having.
things and the
Oh, yeah.
crazy like bill hikes. And it's just like, what is happening? Oy. So yeah, there's like a huge pushback and like petition and people
Oh,
are like
good.
protesting right now in my area because they're like, no.
Yeah, no.
And it's
I
not
mean,
even
I
like a
hope
crazy
that,
wealthy area. Like
yeah.
I'm like, you will literally shove people out of their homes. Like it's because it's sort of like a more historic area of the city. I just
Okay.
moved to, and it's like people are renovating houses and flipping them, and then like they're doing new builds and things. So it's sort of like an old part of the city that's kind of up and coming, but
Yeah.
it's like the gentrification is already happening. And then on top of that, you're going to add the data center. And I'm like, you're just going to like kick everyone who lives here out because they're going to be like, we can't afford to live here anymore. I'm like,
Yeah.
that would suck.
That would suck because, I mean, those neighborhoods are always so cute.
They are. I love the history. Like that's part of why we just got a new house. And so
Yeah.
like that's part of why like we saw the house and my husband was like, I'm in love. I love the house.
Aw.
Like we really like old quirky houses and it is
Yeah.
a quirky house. So like
Nice.
and they had like done a lot of like redid all the plumbing and like all the electrical and stuff. So like, it
Yeah.
had, it wasn't like we were getting something terrible,
Yeah.
but we were like, oh, we love how quirky and historic and weird it is. But yeah, like that was a new thing that we're like, we did not know this was happening here. Oy. So we're definitely like, please no data center. I saw
Yeah.
somewhere in Europe like Finland or Denmark or somewhere, they put a data center under the city, like underground,
Which is
to which
brilliant.
was brilliant because it's so cold there and it like cools it down. And they
Yeah.
somehow were using like solar power and like other things. So they were like, it actually heats the city because it's like built underneath the city and the heat from all the machines comes up, but then like it's colder underground. So like
Hmm.
it cools the computers as well. And then they also were using like water power and like solar power and other things to power it. And I was
Yeah.
like, can we please do something like this here? That'd be great.
I know. Can we stop putting it like where they started building out here was all like horse country. And it was, and it's going to be either that or it's going to be giant houses that,
Yeah.
it's going to be one or the other. But yeah, I'm like, ugh, can we just stop taking away the farms but also
Yeah.
the farmers can't afford to farm anymore.
Right,
So it
exactly. To me, I'm like,
just,
wait a minute. Like you're
yeah,
gonna, yeah, I don't know. To me, I'm like, wait, horse country, like it's expensive to have horses. Like
yeah,
land
yeah.
is not cheap and yeah.
No, it's not. So,
Yeah.
especially near DC, the closer
Oh
into
gosh.
towards DC
Yeah.
you get, like,
DC
I know
is so expensive.
yeah, like we're an hour away from DC, and it's
Yeah.
when we moved out here, it was like the boondocks. So
But it keeps spreading because people can't afford to be in the city.
it
Yeah.
does, yeah. Like the city we came from is just one county over, and that
Yeah.
is like driving there now is like driving in a big city because
Mhm.
there's so many people who don't know how to drive. There's so
Yeah.
many people who drive like jerks. They
When I visit
just,
DC, I like stay out and then I just take
mm-mm.
trains into the city. And
Yeah,
then I eat places like Starbucks because I'm like, where I live, Starbucks is expensive. Here, Starbucks is like the cheapest option.
that's terrible. So terrible.
I mean, like in DC, like food costs are like,
Oh yeah, you
you
could
go
get
to
a
the
hot
grocery
dog and it's
store
gonna
and
be
I'm
like
like,
ten
this is three
dollars.
times what I would pay at a restaurant where I live.
That's awful.
Yeah, DC is expensive.
It is. It is. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, and you're right. The traffic and the drivers are not good. So I don't drive there. I'm
No,
like,
I
I
don't
will
blame
take the
you.
trains and the buses.
I'll take the
I will wait.
metro or whatever. I don't. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
My poor
Like, I know it
husband.
takes longer. It's okay.
Yeah, no. I had to pick him up from rehab in DC after one of his surgeries, and
Yeah.
I'm so bad at driving down there, and I get
Oh,
really angry because I can't
I
figure
don't
out where I'm
blame you.
going. And then
Yeah.
people cut you off because they all assume that you know what you're doing and they flick you off and
Ah,
whatever. And I was like,
yeah.
I turn into the Incredible Hulk kind of. I'm like, oh.
Oh,
And he was laughing at me. He was like, it's so funny to see you like this because you're never like this.
road
I
rage.
know. Get out of my way.
That's pretty funny.
So yeah, like I'm not nice driving down there, so I don't do it.
Oh, oh. I mean, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even like riding in a taxi in DC or something is like
Oh yeah.
scary. So
Yeah. No,
I
people are
can't say I
horrible.
blame you.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All
we're gonna go
right.
ahead and take the track and we're just gonna play with it.
Okie
So
doke.
I'm gonna go
That's
ahead
just the
and
last thing I recorded for I redid that mistletoe
yeah,
mishap and
great.
just
Yeah.
had
Mm,
the raw whatever.
yes. Okay, cool. So just gonna make sure I have myself organized that I can find the track.
Oh,
Yeah, I have like little folders for all my students. Otherwise, I'd be like, what is
yay.
where?
I know.
Oh,
And if you don't do it right away, then God
I
help
know,
you.
yeah. Yeah, so it takes me a second because I have to find your folder, but that's good. Alrighty, I'm gonna not do the update that it wants me to do right now. Goodbye. That's one thing about Audacity. I feel like I don't always like have to do the update, which is nice. Other things sometimes force you and are like,
Right.
you must. And I'm like, please
Yes.
no.
Like I like it the way it is.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. There also was like one that people were like mad about because they were like, I don't like how Audacity is like using my data now or something. So everyone for a while was like, don't use the update, but I think they changed it.
Oh my word.
Oh,
Everybody's using
can
your
you
data.
export it as an MP3? I know it's an
Oh,
Audacity
sure.
project
Yeah.
file, but sometimes when it's like a different version or whatever, they don't sync up. So
Yep.
if you can send me the MP3, that will work better. It was like,
Sure.
no. And then I was trying to figure out why. And I was
Like,
like,
no, I
ah, it's a
hate
project
you.
file. That explains it.
Let's see.
Yeah, I know it takes a second to export the MP3. It feels weird to export the MP3 too when you're like, but it's unedited.
Right. Like,
Why would
what
I do
does it
that?
say? Oh, it won't. Let's see. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm like, it does not like me. It just keeps saying audio is not muted.
And
I know. I'm like, okay. So this is what we've
so
done all the time. Let me just close it and see if it will come back.
does it need to be?
I'm like, but that's the whole point of the audio, so that
Yeah.
we don't. Oh my gosh.
I know. It's so I remember working with registers, like when I worked in a grocery store or like fast food, and it's like it has to go in this order in this particular way, and you have to click this before
Right.
this, and like if you go in the wrong order, you have to start all over again. Computers are just
Like,
they are
what?
inflexible. They're
That
like, this
isn't
is how I work.
happening. Goodness gracious. All right, let me see if I can figure. I'm like, of course, now that I finally have you here, it's gonna be like, oh, I hate everything now.
Oh,
All right, let me see if I can get it to do
just
it this way.
being a little turd,
All
right?
right. Select this one.
I mean, we can also have you do everything on your side. I just thought it might be easier for me to like play with it, and then we can have you
Yeah,
do it on your side
absolutely.
after, so I can sort of
Okay.
like try to click around and figure out what's going on.
I think I'm
Because
gonna
once you
get it.
know, it just is a lot easier. And
Yeah,
sometimes it
absolutely.
could be other things. Like one of my students, hers was sounding really like tinny and metallic. Um,
Hmm.
and and it just was because she was recording in a walk-in closet that was totally empty and had like a hardwood floor. And I was like, well, just like hang some clothes in the closet. And she did that, and it like suddenly was
Okay.
better. And I was like, ah, perfect. So sometimes it might not be the editing process, it might be more of like something in the room.
Okay.
Like you might want to like put a rug down or something. But a lot of the time you can figure out like it could just be like an over editing kind of a thing. So
I don't,
just
yeah,
figure it
like
out. I
we'll get there.
know you put like moss art and you tried to like treat around and stuff.
Yeah, I've got a lot of like it's a pretty good solid space for recording. I think some
Yeah,
of it is um like maybe do I not have my microphone level turned up high enough?
sure,
I
right.
thought
The
it
input
was
gain level. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one of my students was that's been something she's been just struggling with, like getting the right level
Yeah,
of just the gain level, and just like figuring that out made a huge difference for her. So,
because
uh,
the I mean it comes out like super tiny.
oh yeah. Yeah, and then if you record too softly, then when you bump up the volume, you get like a
Hmm.
fuzzy kind of a sound around
Hmm.
it. And then if you are too loud, it distorts and it like can't process the audio at a certain level. So it's a little tricky. Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen as I go. I'm just going to sort
Okay.
of play with it. I'm also going to make sure that you can hear. All right, I'm sharing computer sound as well. All right,
Okay.
so one thing that I like to do is always just hear a little bit of it before I even start.
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe Mishap.
Already it sounds pretty darn good. So that to me like suggests that you have a pretty good setup right off the bat. Um,
Okay.
so like just hearing,
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe Mishap.
yeah, and like your levels are good. I like to check like the loudest spot and the quietest spot.
Start a new week, then making a hearty breakfast.
So I could still hear everything. It like kind of gets right up to the zero. So I probably, if I was recording, would probably turn the gain input level just slightly down. Um,
Okay.
and another thing as a voice actor is just experimenting with how do I increase intensity at moments without actually getting louder and trying to kind of keep a similar volume throughout.
Right.
I'm also going to check this like quieter section at the end.
We pretend that we're dating.
Yeah, and so I always say like the at the lowest, I try to keep it like the -12. So I try to keep it not going all the way to the zero and at the lowest that -12 just to make sure when I edit it it sounds good. So yeah, like
Okay.
I think all that's fine because I didn't hear any distorting or anything like funky that stood out to me that was like, we gotta redo that. So great.
Okay.
So I think we're off to a good start. So then we're just
So
gonna take,
I
yeah,
just have a quick like
sure.
because oh maybe it's just the way you have yours set up. I was like
Oh
because
yeah, I'm
my
zooming
screen
in
does
now.
not look like
Yeah.
that. Mine
Um,
looks like
s-
super tiny.
oh, right. Yeah. I'm going to zoom in. So now you can see like
Okay.
the individual seconds. Yeah. I was
Okay.
zoomed out where you could see like the whole track. Um, so I'm going to take, for instance, like we're going to do the analysis of like the noise reduction and everything too. Um, so I zoomed in so that we can see a little better for the editing process. Um, so we're just going to kind of go through and do, all the basic editing things we typically do. So the first thing I'm going to do, just because it's pretty important, is I'm going to find a chunk that's like a good, decent chunk of just silent space. And
Okay.
I'm going to go through and we're going to analyze and get that noise profile first. So it knows what the room noise is. So just that dead space. If you ever work like film projects, they'll be like, okay, quiet on set, and they'll just record, like 30 seconds of like dead noise. And that's just, I mean, So they have that to, and we're doing the same kind of thing here.
Okay.
Okay, so essential things are going to be like noise reduction, for instance, is a number one thing that's an essential thing that we just want to do. I always want to reduce, not remove completely.
Okay.
These are the numbers that I have it set to right now. Um, you could do something different. We're going to see if it's too much, too little, and see what we need. Sometimes I actually apply noise reduction multiple times. Okay, so I'm just going to listen again from the start.
This is
And I don't hear anything, but I can see that there's still like, little like things. If I zoom in more, I can see like there's little like things in there. Um,
Right.
so occasionally I'll actually apply it again, but I actually am not hearing anything so far that's bugging me
Okay.
about that. So I'm okay with just applying noise reduction once. I'm also going to do click removal. That's just if you have any saliva clicks or like pop kind of sounds, it'll help with
Okay.
that.
Which click removal do you use? Because
Ah,
I've got one that is like a plug-in, or do
sure,
you
yeah.
just use the one that is in
Right
there?
now I'm just using the one that's part of Audacity. Sometimes
Okay.
again, I'll apply this multiple times because I tend to do like a lower effect. And then if I need more, I'll just apply it again.
Okay.
So click removal, but you can actually find um, plugins that you might like the effect better. Great. So click removal. Um, This is kind of extreme, so I'm curious what I was working on. I probably had a client who was like, I hear just a little bit of, and I was like, fine.
Fine,
But
I'll take it all out.
because this seems a little bit extreme to me. Yeah. So I just went back to the factory resets because I'm like, that seems kind of high. So I wonder what I was doing or if I like was showing a student. I'm like, that was weird. Okay, so
Okay.
lower is more sensitive of the threshold, higher is more sensitive for the max spike. So I just
Okay.
went back to the factory presets. If we don't like it, we can always add more.
All right.
So I went ahead and applied that.
this is Christine Longhelt.
I actually did hear just a teensy little click in there, just a
Mm-hmm.
little bitty one just once. So
Okay.
I'm actually gonna do click removal again on it. Oops, I don't have it selected.
I'm gonna send
So,
this to you one more time. I'm wondering if I exported the wrong
oh,
thing.
okay.
I mean, I don't
This
know.
is
I just
Christine.
like it just so when I did
This
Yeah.
yeah, with that, when I did the click removal like more than twice, it kind of started to make a weird
Well, it'll
sound.
start to affect like your consonants is the
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So eventually it'll start like taking out your T's and stuff, and we don't want that.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm downloading the other one. So we're just gonna compare the two.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna drop it in. Yeah, so it's this one's the new one. So we'll just have two to
Oh,
check out
still
here. I'm gonna zoom in. Oop, too much. It's like, that's more than I want.
it still looks, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if it's just because it changes it in an MP3, because what I see when I open it is just like,
Sure. And I already did a couple effects on the first one. So let's just
okay,
listen to that second one because I can see like little differences, but I don't know for sure because we've already added a couple effects. So what I'm going to do is edit undo. Oh wait,
okay.
then it undoes my import. That's okay. We're gonna undo the things we already added. Oops. Okay, and just start over. So I'm gonna just drop both in. We'll have both of those. And we're just gonna take a look here, see if we can
Yay.
tell. They look pretty similar,
Okay.
so it is hard to tell. Let me zoom in more.
Me,
Too much.
like, what if?
Yeah, they look very, very similar.
Yeah.
Like every little detail is like the same.
Like, hmm.
Hmm. Okay, well, I'm gonna listen to both and we
Okay.
will fi figure it out. All right, so we're gonna solo this track and listen.
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe Mishap. There's a certain magic to waking up early in December. There's this silence in the crisp morning air.
Okay, and now I'm gonna listen to the other one. So we're gonna mute this guy, unsolo it.
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe Mishap. There's a certain magic to waking up early in December. There's this silence in the crisp morning air, a calmness before the world is awake. You can hear the snowflakes.
I feel like the first one sounds a little cleaner to me. So I
Okay.
think you're right. I think the second one is this mistletoe mishap one. I think that's the one that sounds a little less clean. So I'm gonna delete the first one for from the
Okay.
project. Okay. Um, yeah, I just like listening. I was like, I can like pick up little things. So yeah, so let's try that again. So I'm gonna take um find a good chunk here for just like noise reduction analysis. So we're gonna go here because I would say this is definitely like a primary thing we want to do. Another thing you can do with this is not just the room noise. Like, let's say you feel like my breaths sound really prominent. You could
Mm-hmm.
like highlight a breath sound of you inhaling,
Okay.
analyze that, and then apply to the whole track, and it'll minimize those. So we'll see if we find things like that that we're like, I don't like that so much. All
Okay.
right. Also, click removal is something I'm always gonna want to add.
And do you do
This
that
is
in the
Chris.
very beginning? Like,
Yeah, I like to do it prior to adding like compression and other things
okay.
personally. Yeah.
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe Mishap. There's a certain magic to waking up early in December.
So with click removal, like I said, it's a pretty conservative parameter right now. I'm gonna add
Mhm.
it one more time just because I feel like it'll be a little cleaner.
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe Mishap.
Yeah, I like that a little bit better. It's
Okay.
subtle, but I like that a little bit better. Um, and you can try adding, a stronger effect. If I go like boom boom, that would be like the most extreme. And then I listen again.
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe Mishap.
I actually don't feel like that sounds bad.
Okay.
Like I don't at this point notice anything. So the click removal that's built into Audacity is not going to be the issue that's creating like funky sounds.
Okay.
Because I actually think that actually sounds a little bit
Mishap.
cleaner,
Okay.
There's a certain magic.
and your voice still sounds like you. So
Okay.
um, it could be that the click removal plugin you're using maybe like you have different settings or it's doing different things. But for
Okay.
this one, I actually didn't even mind the like full extreme, like apply the highest setting. I still thought it sounded good. Um, so I was just curious what would happen, and I was like, oh, it actually sounds good.
Yay.
So yeah, just because you had mentioned you thought it kind of made it funky, I actually
Right.
don't think that one made any problems. Okay, so we're definitely going to, one thing I always do is I'm going to fade in and fade out at the beginning and end.
Okay.
You've got your silences between half a second and a second. I tend to go a little more towards like half a second of the
Okay.
intro. I keep it a little bit shorter. So I'm just going to chop that a little bit, just because I think it's nice to have just a little bit of a shorter, like it jumps in. The ending tag, I leave a little bit longer, and then the beginning, I leave a little
Okay.
bit shorter. Um, so that's, I mean, like if they were just listening to it flow, it still is going to have a little bit longer. Um, so I do a little bit shorter at the beginning. At the end, I'm going to leave somewhere between like a second. Like I go around a second, but around between a second to 2 seconds. So if I look
Okay.
like right now I'm a little bit longer than that. So I'm just going to shorten this a tiny bit and just be like, hey, let's make that a little bit shorter at least.
Okay.
Just because I tend to go just a tad shorter. So I don't want it to be like more than a couple seconds at the end. So I just keep my silence a little bit shorter. So I'm going to fade out there. And it just like if they're listening in the car and there's like you can hear a little like buzz or something and as it fades in, phase out. So I'm just gonna add that. It just gives it a little more polish. So far,
Okay.
nothing funky that I hear. I feel like especially because you're doing character voices and stuff, I'm not gonna mess with EQ right now. So I'm not gonna play with like filter curve, graphic EQ, that kind of thing. Um,
Okay.
I might occasionally use like if I felt like for instance like so one of my students had a funky sound where I was like it almost sounds like you're like bumping your mic stand. So
Yeah.
I had them use a low pass filter to remove these like really low booming pitches and then it like polished it a little bit more. I don't hear that in yours. So
Okay.
you don't need that. So I'm not gonna mess with any of this because I don't want to mess with your voice, right? I want you to
Okay.
sound like you. Um, Same with like pitch and tempo. We don't need that. If I was creating like a funky character voice that they're like, I really want it more higher pitched or more low pitched, and I can't really do that, I might play with that just for certain characters. Um, so we don't need any more of this. We're going to primarily focus now on volume and compression and see if this is where funky stuff is happening because this can mess with your sound as well. Um,
Okay.
so I'm going to do first, I'm going to do the normalization ones. So for loudness normalization, um, we're just going to go with perceived loudness. Occasionally, if they mention if you're uploading, they talk about RMS. You will have
Right.
to come change that. So you might have to adjust that. But for now, I'm going to keep it on perceived loudness. Um, we don't have stereo channels. That doesn't matter. Most of the time for voiceover, you're going to be using mono. Some projects will say we're okay with stereo, but every track you give us needs to be stereo. It has to be consistent.
Okay.
But I pretty much just always stay with mono for voiceover work. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to apply that. So that's going to basically like if I zoom out, it should help with like your peaks and valleys being a little bit more consistent.
Okay.
So then I'm going to go up here and do normalize as well. So the default is not this -3, but for Audacity files, they're pretty, again, like conservative parameters. We need that
Right.
-3 as like the max peak amplitude has to be that -3. All right, so I'm going to go
Okay.
ahead and apply there, and you see it made everything actually broaden a little bit louder. So I'm going to go over here now, and I'm going to add the compressor, which if you think of like sound particles moving through the air, it literally like compresses, um,
Okay.
is basically what's happening. All of these are based on like live effects that people figured out how to do in a studio and then they turned them into a computer program. Um, so I'm gonna go to, well, they have so many different settings. Um, so this is what I have right now, just as like the standard settings. We're gonna try that and see if we like it. If we don't, we can always change. They have all these different settings depending on like what you're doing. So like a podcast or radio, for instance, might be a good kind of place to go, right? Or vocal touch up, power vocals, lead vocals. Most of these are going to be more based on music.
Okay.
But like these podcast radio settings might actually turn out to be really nice for voiceover, right? If you're a podcaster, I would assume it's similar.
Okay.
Um, so that could be an option. Let's try that and see what we think. Let's listen to what that sounds like.
This is Christine Longhelt, auditioning for mistletoe mishap. There's a certain magic to waking up early in December.
It doesn't sound bad. I'm going to edit undo, and then I'm also going to go back to the effect. Um, and I'm going to try to go back to like the default setting and see if we can hear much of a difference.
This is Christine Longhelt.
It's much more subtle for the podcaster radio. It gave you a little more like warmth and depth and like richness, like warm brownies out of the oven rather than like a sugar cookie, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that with the default settings, it actually lets you sound more like yourself, which I
Okay.
personally really like. Um,
Yay.
because I was like, it has a little more like I'm working R&B late night radio. And I was like, eh. So I'm gonna leave it there. Um,
Okay.
so we already did the normalization. Limiter is also something that we're gonna want to apply. This point, negative 0.3 is again not something that we like normally necessarily would do, but for Audacity, I mean, sorry, for ACX, you would want that.
Okay.
So we're gonna apply that, and you see it changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is Christine Longhelt.
Yeah. So the last thing that I always do is amplify. What it's gonna do is go, how do I go through and make it as loud as it can be without distorting? Now, just looking at it, I probably ACX is going to reject this because the softs are much softer than the louds right now.
Okay.
So you can allow clipping where it like literally chops the too much. But
Okay.
that's not ideal. Um,
Okay.
so what I need then is to get this more of that where it's I need like stronger effects where it's going to not reject it, but where it's like everything's more, like consistent is what we
Okay.
need. So if I just apply amplify, here's what it looks like, here's what it sounds like.
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for mistletoe mishap.
It sounds pretty
There's
good.
a certain magic.
But I do think ACX is going to reject it for a specific reason. So we're going to export it and we're going to see what they say, and
Okay.
then we're going to adjust as needed. So I'm going to say first edit. And then we are going to save you. You are not Robert.
Yay.
You
Not
are
this time.
okay, save. Okay, there we go. So we do have certain things that we're going to want for the saving, like mono, for instance, sample rate. You have different options, bit rate, constant, variable, average. Um, we also have quality, which can change. So you have to make sure all of those things are going to fit the ACX parameters, right? Okay, so I'm going to go to the let me go over here. Okay. All right, so ACX, it's like Audio Playground or something. Check files. They have like the Audio Lab, audio analysis tool. That's where we need to go. Alrighty. So then you can just go to the Audio Lab is what it is. I'm going to share the screen now
Okay.
that I've got that open. So you go to where the Audio Lab, so yeah, it's acx.com/audiolab/playground. And then I can upload the files. It's going to tell me exactly what is needed for those files.
Okay.
All right, so I need to go to where you are. You are in here somewhere. All righty. And first edit.
This is Christine Longhelt
Ooh,
auditioning.
you're chatting. Okay. All right, so it's going to upload, and actually 0 issues found, which is
Yay.
awesome. I was like, I feel like the peaks and valleys are a little too much, but with the settings that I had on there, and remember one of them I was like, Don't know what I did there. Let's undo that and go back to the default. And
Right.
but like I've got like the -3 and like the RMS and those things and the exporting. Exporting is actually a lot of the time where I see people go wrong, where it rejects because I'm
Okay.
like, oh, you have to have like constant bit rate, those kind of things. So what's great is there are no issues found in the file, and they're like, you're good. As long
Yes.
as we like the sound, we're good to go, right? So
Okay.
I actually listening to it, I was like, you sound like yourself. We get all those beautiful character voices. Like there are a lot of positives here that I'm really liking.
This is Christine
Nice.
Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe Mishap.
Yeah, I would say the oh, I'm gonna go back to sharing Audacity because I don't know that you can see that. Um, but I feel like the only thing I would say is some of the more crisp consonants
Yeah.
kind of stand out a little bit. Most
Yeah.
people, though, are going to be listening on a phone or in their car. They're not going to have, they're not listening as closely as we are for like a studio sound. Um,
Right.
so there are plugins and things we can use to help with that. I can try adding like click removal more, for instance. We can just like do more of that and see what happens. Like
This is Christine Longhelt.
there's still like the teensiest little bit on those like crisper consonants.
This is Christine Longhelt.
Still just a teensy little bit. So like you can just keep applying.
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe.
And there I applied it 3 times. I think I had already applied it a couple times, but with
Hmm.
the smaller parameters. And there I kind of like really bumped up the effect. And it's like you can't even really hear it anymore. It's like so settled now that it's like a normal person wouldn't notice it at all. Um, but it also can be mic placement. Sometimes
Right.
people are too close, and then those consonants are going to like hit the mic a little too hard, and it processes them not in a great way. So we want to check. Like my rule of thumb is like put 4 fingers up, and
Hmm.
you never want to be closer than that. But if we get
Okay.
like too far away, that can affect the
Right.
sound too. So I always try to go 4 fingers. But another thing is just that, like, if your saliva is just sticky, that can also
Yeah,
affect it.
that's me.
So a lot of people keep green apple slices and then
Okay.
like between takes, they'll just like eat a little bit of green apple and that tends to help. Hydrating also helps. So, for instance, I have chronic allergies and so I take allergy medication every day. But it makes everything, all the passages really dry and then
Right.
that makes things a lot more sticky. So I
Right.
have to really proactively be hydrating. But there's also a mouth swishing rinse that my dentist gave me a sample of. And it kind of tastes nasty, but it sort of puts like a coating on the inside of your mouth.
Okay.
And that has helped me quite a bit.
Okay.
And so it's just like, it's because I have the medication that makes everything really dry and it's hard for
Yeah.
me. Sorry, I'm moving because I like
No,
had,
you're
I
fine.
was sharing, so you were over there and now you're in front of me again. Um, so yeah, it's like a mouth rinse and it kind
Okay.
of tastes gross, but it does help me quite a bit. So the green apple slices a lot of people like. I'm just looking. So the one she had given me was the Biotine one,
Okay.
but there are some other options. She gave me a sample and then I just like bought the same one. So I'm just gonna
Okay.
share the like search screen with you. So there are like different things. They're just like dry mouth. You can get like
Yeah.
lozenges or you can get just like the mouth rinse. Um, so TheraBreath I haven't tried. This is the one she gave me, the Biotine one.
Okay.
And it helps me to just like
Okay.
swish it around. It doesn't taste great, but it's something. And then it just kind of helps me with those clicks and things.
Okay.
Another thing too, I've noticed for people who have in the past done theatrical performing, they tend to over enunciate, or maybe they did speech competitions, things like that.
Yeah.
When you're on a stage doing things live, we do over enunciate. When we are recording, both in film and then for voiceover, the mics are like right up in your business. So for
Right.
film, for instance, they put like a little lapel hidden in your clothes, or they have a boom mic that's like right over your head or right underneath you, and it's right out of the shot, but it's like right there and it's very directional, and they're made for picking that up. And if you do too much, they're like, hey, just talk like a normal person, like stop being theatrical. Um,
Oh,
yeah, so as a voice actor, it's kind of the same thing. We want to soften our consonants a
okay.
little bit, so any of the consonants that really stand out, so the stop plosive consonants, so like
Right.
P's and B's, those are really huh, huh, buh,
Yeah.
buh, or a T, right? Or a D,
Yes.
d, right? Any of those consonants that are like a strong pop on them,
Right.
those are going to stand out more naturally. So one thing I think the plugin you're using for click removal might just be too much
Okay.
because I used a lot of the effects on the
Right.
Audacity built-in effect for click removal. Like I applied it like 5 times, and I also for the last three, I bumped it up to the most extreme effect, and it didn't change your voice sound, but it did dull those consonants. Um,
Okay.
Sometimes, another thing I can show you, remember I mentioned the low pass filter?
Yes.
Sometimes that can help um, with the consonants as well. So if I go like edit, undo the click removal things that I just added, those last three that were like more hyper
Right.
intense, um, and I go to where that was, let me see. Um, EQ and filters. Okay. So if I go to these, sometimes that kind of like popping sound, specifically for Robert, for him, it was more like the buzz, the puzz that we're getting him. For you, it's a little more the splashy ones, like the
Yeah.
T's,
Yeah.
a little bit on like an F. Um,
Yeah.
you get like a little zing sometimes on an S, the hissy kind of sounds. There are de-essers, which Audacity doesn't have built in. I've had students who needed to download a de-esser plugin.
Okay.
Um, your S's are not that bad though. It was mostly
Okay.
the T's. So we're gonna try adding that low pass filter. And basically like anything, I changed the setting, anything like 1,000 hertz or lower. So this is
Okay.
based on like frequency, so vibrations, is not going to be like a human normal like vibrational vocal sound anyway. Um, like no human is going to be able to make a sound lower than that unless it's like a pop of the lips or like a funky sound you're creating here. It's not going to be your actual vocal folds. So this
Okay.
is not going to affect anything about your actual speaking, the sounds you're creating with your voice. So this is like a safe zone to do, and it sometimes
Okay.
can really help with those consonants that are kind of standing out. So I applied that. Now I probably would want to apply this prior. Let's actually do that. We're gonna undo the amplify, the limiter, the compressor. I'm going to do it prior to that. I
Okay.
probably would do it prior to my normalization as well, though I don't care as much about those. I care more about the last three. So let's try it with having loudness normalization and normalization. We'll do it after that. And then the compressor, limiter, and amplification, I always want to do last.
Okay.
So I want to do other things first because like the compressor, for instance, could make your consonants stand out more. So I want to minimize them prior to adding that. So I'm going to go back to EQ and filters, low pass filter. I have it set to frequency 1,000 because that's not going to be like any human. Like that was for a man's voice that I originally picked that.
Okay.
Um, I don't often use the low pass filter for myself, but I could. Um, so I changed that just because literally no human can make sounds beyond that. It's literally just like sounds like a pop of the lips kind of thing.
Okay.
So I'm going to apply that here. Then I'm going to go back and do the other effects where I did the compressor, the limiter, and the amplification. And I'm going to do those last. And then we're going to check. Now, you might have noticed with the amplification, it was like double the volume because when I did the low
Right.
pass filter, it made it quite a bit softer. And that's okay. So we fixed it. So we're gonna listen and see what we think. If we hate it, we can undo it.
Okay.
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe Mishap.
So I think that 1,000 is too much. You lose a little
Yeah.
bit of your vibrance in your voice. And so I don't like that. For Robert, it was fine. He has a really like deep man voice anyway. So it's
Okay.
like it was fine. But for you, I think that was way too much. So we're going to go back to the low pass filter. You could hear it's almost like a mute on a trumpet. It's like very muffled, like you're talking
Hmm.
into a pillow or something. And I don't love that. So
No.
we are going to go back to the factory preset defaults. Maybe that is the default. I don't love it.
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe Mishap.
Yeah, it makes it kind of like you lose some vibrance, and
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No.
So personally, I'm like, eh. So that's where I'm like, I didn't want to mess with like any of the EQ filter type things. But you don't have any of those like poppin' sounds. They're gone, you know?
Right.
So the frequency hertz is based on vibrations per second. Um, so the lower the vibrations per second, the lower the pitch. The higher the vibrations per second, the higher the pitch. I don't want I don't want this. I'm like, let's do a lower hertz because I want to keep all the sounds above that. I don't want it to mess with any of those.
Okay.
This is Chris.
Oh, right. I have to it's still too much. I hate that. Yeah, so it might be like we don't like it. We might be like we don't love this sound. It's not for us.
This is Chris.
Yeah, way too much. It's gross. It's like you lose your sparkle. And I can't do that to you. No, no. So sometimes you just have to try different things and be like, what does this do? What does that do?
This is Christine Longhelt.
Okay, so for you, we actually need to keep it higher because it's filtering out anything below
Okay.
that pitch is essentially what's happening here. So anything like 1,000 or lower is we don't love it. So sometimes you have to just sit there and play with it and be like, what does it do for this or this or this? We could try, 1,500 instead and see what we think.
This is Christine Longhelt.
I don't hate that as much,
It's
right?
not as bad. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's not as bad. But I also like when we're setting it to like 2,000, I'm like, it's not gonna do anything. You know? So you can try things and it actually lets you preview it before you apply.
This is Christine Longhelt.
Yeah, so I hear the effect more subtly, but it still
Mhm.
sounds okay. I'm gonna try, a couple different numbers.
This is Christine Longhelt.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
This is Christine Longhelt.
Yeah, there's no popping sounds at all. There's no like standing out pops.
This is Christine Longhelt.
I like that. I like the
Okay.
1900. Yeah,
Okay.
it's very, very subtle. It still lets you sound like you.
This
Yay.
is Christine Longhelt.
Yeah, and all of it's gone. All of the
Okay.
like popping air, the like sharp like
Yeah.
splash of the air is gone. So that might be a little trick that you use instead of like a
Okay.
de-esser or the click removal you've been using. So then at this point is where I do the compressor, the limiter, and the amplify, and then you'd be good to go, right?
Right.
So yeah, there are like subtle things like that. And honestly, like with practice, you can get to where you dampen those consonants anyway.
Yeah.
This is Christine Longhelt auditioning for Mistletoe Mishap.
That's beautiful.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it it does give like a teensy bit less of the brightness in your voice.
Yeah.
Just a teensy bit, right? It just subtly like just a teensy bit, but do you hear? It's like there is nothing that stands out then. It sounds really, really good. I'm going to zoom out and check a couple different spots, like where we get
Okay.
louder.
Getting up from the couch, I stretch and make my way to the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that would have been a spot that would have stood out a little bit,
Okay.
most likely. And that sounds a lot better to me. Let's check a softer.
What's the problem then?
That P probably, you hear how like the air wants to pop there. That's
Yeah.
going to be a lot more subtle, and then it's going to just flow a little better to your listener.
I had a girlfriend, so she wouldn't invite Shannon.
Nice.
Obeline tilts her head.
Yeah, so it's subtle.
Yeah.
but it's enough that it like solved the problem. It did change your vocal timbre slightly. So I think let me just double check what I had done for that was, oop, I have to select, oops. It's yelling at me. I'm like, I just want to know what I did. Okay, I did 1900 for the hertz. So it
Okay.
just very subtly adjusted it, but all of those kind of like air, just like pop kind of sounds
Right.
feel just a little bit less.
Okay.
And so it took just a teensy, little bit of your sparkle out, um, but I think it's not enough that it's gonna like bug anybody.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say with practice though, you can dampen those. So if I was doing live theater, she said, "Come over tonight and have dinner," right?
Right.
I'm doing a little more emphatic, right? And
Right.
then if I do it more for voiceover, she said, "Come over tonight and have dinner." Or I might even do, she said, "Come over tonight," like almost like a
A
dentalized
D.
T,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
tonight. It's like a halfway between. In Europe, they do a lot of dentalized T's. So like
Right.
a da 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 da. We really separate those. It's like a sharper D or like a dull T. It's somewhere
Okay.
in between. So like come over tonight and have dinner. Like it still has a little bit of that. I just sort of take the T and like dampen it a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
with the D. I dull it down slightly.
I think I think I'm like really bad about it with my name because no one ever
Oh,
knows how to pronounce my name.
that's
So
fair. Yeah. Yeah.
so I'll have to
I have a
practice
weird
that, but
name, so yeah, I get it.
yeah. Like
Vandy Enzor.
okay.
People are like,
Yes.
wait, what's your name? Vandy with a
Yes.
V, like
With a V. Yeah.
Valentine.
No, one of my really good friends, her name is Retha,
Oh,
and
that's
everybody
pretty.
says, "Oh, Aretha." And she's like,
Nah.
"No, it's just Retha. There's no
Yeah.
A." And she's like, "I don't know. I think my mom was trying to name me something else, and the nurse
Oh,
convinced her to name me that."
aw. I'm curious if we export this audio. I'm curious if it will be accepted by ACX. So edit to,
Let's
oops,
see.
edit to. So we are going to export that. It should go same place as last time. Yeah. So we export there. Great. I'm going to go back to ACX. So I'm going to stop that share and share the right thing, this thing. All right. So we are going to analyze another file, edit to. Fingers crossed. Here we
Okay.
go. And it might have something. Sometimes I think it's good and it's like, oh, there's something, but no issues found.
All
Lovely.
right.
Yeah. So awesome. So I would say most likely the click removal plugin you're using is probably doing too much. It's probably too strong.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but I took the click removal that's in Audacity and took it to the most extreme and applied it 3 times, and it wasn't too much. So that one is going
Okay.
to be a lot more subtle. I would say Audacity plugins do tend to be more subtle, so don't be afraid to bump them up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I also would say practice being a little bit more smooth and consistent volume wise and go, can I do a whisper of a character voice, but I don't change the volume and get softer? Or can I
Okay.
suddenly be furious with you and express that without getting louder? You know?
Yeah. Okay.
So can I change emotions or what's happening without changing the volume so much?
Hmm.
That's one thing. And then I also would say practice just dampening the consonants that stand out. So those would be like the S's, the Z's, those consonants where we briefly stop the airflow with like a
Yeah.
lip change or a tongue to teeth change or a tongue to lip change. So there are certain consonants that will briefly stop the air and then we pop the air out the other side. And we want to just dampen those a little bit just because we're in such a sensitive, like right at a mic situation. And voiceover mics are more sensitive than like a general stage mic people would use.
Hmm.
Those are more sturdy and less sensitive. We're using highly sensitive mics to pick up all the nuances, which is great. We love that. But they
Right.
can be annoyingly sensitive to the wrong things. It's like somebody with
Okay.
hearing aids, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, like there's certain things that they pick up more of. That's like, why do they do that? We want to minimize that. But it's just microphones, the way they work. pick up the wrong things and we're like,
Right.
stop it. So that low pass filter might be helpful, but you're definitely going to want to put like a higher frequency so that it doesn't really change your voice so much.
Okay.
But where it just helps to minimize that like pop of
Okay.
those consonants that are kind of sharp and in your face. So I would love to have you
Yay.
now take that file, which was the second one you sent to me. So the name of the file is Christine underscore mistletoe instead of Christine Longhelt underscore mistletoe. Yeah.
Okay.
So pull that
Found
up.
it.
Yeah. And you now, I'm going to make sure that I have it set where you can share. And I want you to share with
Okay.
me. And
Oh,
I want to be able to see everything you do. Okay,
okay.
perfect. So you should be able to share everything now. Um,
Um,
you're going to go ahead and open that in ACX, and we're going to go through and you're going to do each of the things. All right. So tell me in order what you think you would do first.
okay. Let me find it.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
okay. I know it takes a
let's see.
second. It's like, oh,
I
I
know.
gotta go back
And
and
the
figure
way
it
that
out.
I have like my camera set up, it's somewhere in between everything.
Oh, so yeah, it's like right
Yeah.
in the middle.
All right. Let me pull that up. That. Alrighty. Hmm. All right. It wasn't the one that said one on the end of it, was it?
Let me double check.
Okay.
Mm, It is yes. It says
Okay.
Christine underscore mistletoe mishap 1.mp3.
Okay. Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. So I just want to kind of quick go through and make sure we're on the same page with everything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of follow along with you.
Okay.
So let's start. We're going to find a silent space and you're going to analyze that silence first. So let's start with noise reduction first.
Okay. Let me get.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay. Um, I want to pull up. Yeah, I just want to because I want to show you like when you were
Yeah.
doing that, it looks way different when
Yeah.
it's imported.
Oh,
So
got it.
like when I just had it
And
in
different
front of
versions can
me.
look different. Like one thing is I'm on a MacBook, so that's part of why
Okay.
it might look a little bit different. But all of the effects and things are there. They just might look slightly different depending on the version of Audacity you're using, and also depending on what, like, if you have a Mac or Windows setting. I do have Windows
Okay.
programs on my Macs, but I also, have a Mac, so it looks a little
Yes.
bit different.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then
Now let me
sometimes
see if
even
I
just
can
like
figure
the
it out.
version of like what you're running, like what software you're running on your computer can affect it too. So
Okay. So this is what I was looking at.
yeah.
Um, where it looked like so much different than this.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let me get back to that screen. This is the first time I've ever done this. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And let's see.
It's exciting, you
I
get
know,
to
right?
have a whole new experience today.
So fancy. Let's see, where did it go? Oop. It's hiding from me. Hang on one
Oh,
second. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if I'm doing this, not this one. If I'm doing this one, okay. So first we're gonna find something like right here and do the effect. We're gonna do the let's see, the noise reduction. Is that where we're gonna
yes.
start? Okay.
Yeah. So the first thing you'll do is you're going to highlight some silence, and then you're going to do noise reduction under effects, and then you're going to click the get noise profile first.
Okay. So I have that. And then I'm gonna highlight the whole thing and then redo that. And are those are the settings that I have.
Okay. So what I would like to have is noise reduction decibel 6, sensitivity 6, frequency smoothing band 6, and reduce selected.
Okay. Reduce. I've got that. And you want the last one, 6 also?
Yes.
Okay. So 3 6s and reduce. Got it.
Yes. And then you'll just apply to the entire track. So we do
Okay.
the analysis just on the silence, but then we select the entire track and we apply and say, okay. Now, one great thing about Audacity is whatever settings you just used, it usually saves it in the effects.
Okay.
The only time
Okay.
that changes is like after an update, you might have to reset. Okay, so
Okay.
then after we do that noise reduction, we're going to select the entire track and go to click removal. And I would say for now, let's actually do the largest effect. We're just going to use it's in effects. It's in the category of noise removal and repair, and then you're going to go click removal. So should be around where you had noise reduction. Um,
Okay.
and threshold, we're just gonna do 0, and max spike width, you're gonna do 40, and then go ahead and apply that. I think that's gonna be just fine.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then and then can you still see the screen?
Um, uh, so so right now I'm seeing you. So if you
Oh,
click on the
awesome.
bottom bar and you click
Oh,
share
share. It helps
with
if
the
you actually
little
click the
bubble
thing.
with the arrow.
There
Yeah,
we
perfect,
go.
great.
Yay. All
Yeah,
right.
so the
So,
next thing we're gonna do then after that is we're gonna go um so doing kind of the same things we just did, we're gonna go to the beginning. We're gonna shorten the silent moment to between 0.5 seconds and a second at the start of the track, and then we're
okay.
gonna add a fade in there.
So if I can go like that way and then delete that. And then do you just highlight this to add the fade in like that?
Yes, you'll highlight the
Okay.
section you want to fade in on, and then it'll do the fade
Okay.
for that section.
Then we have the fade. Okay. And then we go to the ends. And you said this was about a second that
Between
we,
five, between 0.5, so half a second to a second,
okay.
for that lead in. And then at the end, let's do between 1 second to 2 seconds.
Okay. Which is kind of what I have there, 36, 37 and a half. Okay, yeah. And then we'll just do fade out. Okay, got that. Super.
Yeah, awesome. So then we're gonna try. We've got our fade in, fade out. The next thing I want to do is go to effects, and we're going to do the EQ and filter section. You're going to go to low pass filter, and with that, we're going to do 1900 for the frequency hertz, and then the roll off decibel per octave is 6 decibel.
Mm, okay. All right. Okay, got that.
Yeah, good. So then the
Okay,
next thing we're going to do is you're going to go to effects again and volume and compression. We're going to do loudness normalization. And this should be perceived loudness to -23.
okay,
And then we're going to click treat mono as dual mono
okay,
recommended and then apply.
okay. All right.
So then the next thing you're going to do is go back to that volume and compression setting, loud, normalize. We just did loudness normalization, right?
Okay.
So now
Yeah.
normalize. We click remove DC offset center to zero point 0.0 vertically. Then
Okay.
click normalize peak amplitude to -3 decibel.
Okay.
Leave the normalized stereo channels unclicked and apply.
Okay.
So then the next thing we're going to do is your compressor. So that's going to have threshold decibel -10.
All right. -10.
Makeup gain is 0.
Let's see. My Mine looks okay. The one at the very bottom. Got it. The checked off. Okay.
Knee width is 5.
So I don't think that I have
Okay,
that.
that's all right.
Okay.
We'll try it without.
Okay.
Ratio is 10. These are the settings for the compression curve that it's creating.
Okay. So
Um,
my ratio says 2 to 1, like 2/1.
okay.
Is that, I don't know if my
Um,
stuff
let
is the
me see.
same. Is it just a regular compressor?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So can you set ratio instead of 2/1, can you make it 10/1?
Yep.
And then let's go to there's a section on smoothing the curve, which says look ahead MS1.
I have attack time.
Okay,
I have,
attack is 30.
okay.
And then release is 150. 150.
Attack time, I have it at, you want it at 30 seconds.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes.
And then release is, I'm sorry, what?
150.
150. All right.
Yeah.
Mm,
Um, then let's go ahead and apply all of that and let's go to limiter.
okay. Your 150 is at 1.5 seconds. That's how it is set up in here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Into
So
seconds.
mine
Okay.
is milliseconds.
Okay.
So 30 would be so instead you're going by like seconds instead of milliseconds.
That's how it is set up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so we need to move the decibel point over.
Okay. So 3 sec. Is that right?
Right. So if it's 30 milliseconds, it's going to be 0.03 second.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, that's a good thing to
Okay.
clarify. And then for the other 150 would be 0.15.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. That's
Thank you
okay.
for clarifying.
Yay. Okay. So my attack time then will be at that one I have at point 30. I can have at point 3.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And then my release time,
Well, it would be 0.03
I
for
c
that one.
it won't. Oh yeah, it's 0.3.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
And then my release time, the smallest I can go is 1 second.
For the release time.
Hmm.
Okay. All right, let's try
Okay. All
it.
right. Yay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's go to limiter now afterwards.
Then
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe there's like an update
I probably
uh
do need to do an update or make
because
some
it
sort
might be
of.
able to do like more like detailed now, and that's
Hmm.
okay. So let's do the limiter. So
Okay.
for threshold decibel -3,
Okay.
and then we're gonna do makeup target decibels -1.
Okay. So I have it set at
Yeah.
soft limit. Should it be at something different?
Ah, let me see here. Mm, yes, we should definitely use the soft limit, set the
Okay.
ceiling, the max output to -3 decibels. Um,
Okay.
yeah, because we don't want the harsh clipping. Yeah,
Okay.
hard limits abruptly cut the audio and can cause distortion. So it's going to give it a much smoother, more natural sound. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
with
So
those
then I
levels.
have my input gain set at 0 for the mono left and for the right channel. Those are both set at
Okay.
0.
Yep.
And
Do
then
you
my
have
limit, mhm.
uh do you have smoothing like look ahead and release?
I just have hold and that's at milliseconds.
Okay. All right, great. So go ahead and apply that because the
Okay.
most important thing is that threshold, that decibel -3.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
perfect. So then you're going to go to amplify and you're just going to take whatever their default is because they're sensing those peaks and what's the max that you can apply without it distorting.
Okay. So then that's set at 3, so I'm going to apply that.
hmm Great.
Hmm.
So now can we export it and let's put it into that Audacity audio lab and let's
Okay.
see what it says. And that way I can tell you like if there's something specific, how to fix it. So here's the link to that audio lab playground. So you'll
Okay.
export as MP3
It's
and then we're going to plug it in there.
on my desktop. Okay. Got it. All right. Then now I got to figure out how to get back to me. Okay. There we go. All right. And then it's in the chat.
Awesome.
Feels like maybe I've never used a computer before.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Browse. One issue found. Let's
Okay.
see.
Yeah. So we're going to try to fix that. So what is the issue that
Okay.
they say?
Let's see. Peaks.
Ah, yes.
It says -0 is the value.
Hmm.
And it says, let's see, what else does it say? Peaks exceed 0 decibels, reduce peaks to
Ah,
below -3.
okay. Got it. All right. So okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to Audacity and you are going to check your limiter effect
Okay.
because that should have that -3 um, application. Um, so select the entire track. You're going to go to the effects, volume and
Mm-hmm.
compression limiter, and
Okay.
then you're going to choose soft limit
Right.
or the clip type for more natural sound, you're going to set the threshold or the maximum amplitude to -3 decibels.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will use -3.1 or -3.2 just to give like a little buffer, a little safety
Okay.
margin. You're going to set the makeup target to -3 as well, or select no for makeup gain,
Okay.
depending on how it's written in your software.
Yep. All right.
You likely already have your RMS loudness set. Leave everything else like the hold and release as the default.
Okay.
And let's try applying that effect. And then we're just gonna go ahead and export it and check it again.
All right.
We can record at a lower level initially, or you can check your loudness, your RMS, with like the loudness normalization if needed. So
Okay.
this is where we're going to start though is with that limiter. So just go ahead and apply that limiter. And if you want to, you can do the -3.1 or -3.2 just for that safety margin
Okay.
and export that.
All right. Let's try again. Righty. That one has no issues found.
Excellent. Perfect. So it was just the limiter. Um, was the issue. Did you have to reassign anything after, like when you went to the effect, did you have to reset any of those numbers?
No.
So they were already where they needed to be. So my
Yeah.
guess is with amplification, it just boosted it too much. Um,
Okay.
so for you, you might just do the limiter and then go, I'm not going to amplify afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Letter. Just I'm gonna do a question mark on the amplify. Awesome. Yay. That's very exciting.
Yeah, good. So do you feel a little bit more comfortable now because it should save in your effects all of your settings?
Yes, absolutely. I feel a
Yeah.
lot more comfortable with that.
Hmm. Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Good. I'm glad you're feeling more confident. It honestly, it sounds really, really good. Um, so yeah, my guess is that it just was the plugin you downloaded has a little bit too strong of an effect, and it
Okay.
for whatever reason was creating that kind of like computery sound that you were like it sounds over edited.
Yeah.
So it just was too much. So you could probably adjust the settings in that one and use it, or you can just switch to using the Audacity version if you're
Okay.
comfortable.
That'll work for me.
Yeah.
I'll just go with what we worked with.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't, some people need a de-esser. I didn't really think you need one.
Okay.
Audacity doesn't have one built in,
Okay.
but you can like download one. But honestly, I don't think you need one. I think if
Perfect.
you do that like low pass filter, that'll help with like the T's that were really splashy, which was the main issue, is the T's
Right.
are just a little too splashy. Um, and then yeah, everything else, I think you should be golden now.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Vandy. I appreciate
sounds
it.
really good. Yeah, I
Yay.
think with that click removal that's the built-in and then with that low pass filter adjustment, I think they're going to be wow, chef's
Mwah.
kiss. They'd be great.
Yay. Perfect.
Yeah, it's every individual we have to like troubleshoot and figure out because like my setup is going to be different than yours. Even if we
Right.
have the exact same equipment, our room will be different and we might be a little closer or farther away from our mic, that kind of thing. So we have to figure out for the individual what works best for their setup and their room that they're in and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I have to do this like troubleshooting with a lot of people. So
With
it's
everybody.
yeah,
Perfect.
it's very normal. I have to do it for myself too, like with moving or like turning a room into like my studio space. So right now we're in the process of like putting the like, wall treatments and things because it would just sounded like this echoey,
Oh,
box. And I was like, this won't work. Yeah, so
yeah. Yeah.
hopefully, fingers crossed, that's done in the next week. So that's the
That'll be
first priority
awesome.
because I'm like, I need to work.
Yeah, really. Oh my gosh, that'll
So
be
we're
so
like
exciting.
getting like, everything, on the walls. Like we have these like 2x4s with like insulation and then just like grain sack fabric over them that were just like
Okay.
we built, kind of
Mm-hmm.
a thing, like homemade. My husband built them. And then I was like, if I don't like what's on them, I'll just paint over it or whatever. But
Yeah.
like, spray paint them another color or something.
Yeah.
But like we just sort of are like figuring all that out because I'm like, it just sounds like a big open empty box right now. And I'm like, this will not cut it. So
That's
yeah.
fun.
So it's a work in progress, but fingers crossed it'll hopefully be
Yay.
done like by the end of the weekend and I can start
That would be awesome.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm in a little transition moment at the moment where I'm like, everyone bear with me. I'm a little behind.
Oh gosh.
So, but I could go to a studio, but I'm like, but I
Yeah, but
need to
who
take
wants
the
to do that?
time to like
Yeah.
actually finish mine?
Right.
So,
Right.
and with moving too, there are just boxes and things everywhere.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's like, I don't know
Moving's
where
no
things
fun.
are. I'm like, where's the broom and the dustpan? I don't know. Do we even have one? It's somewhere?
Yeah, right?
My husband's like, hey, do you know where a spatula is? No.
No? Don't you know where a spatula is?
I know we have one. Where is it? I don't know.
That's how you end
So
up with 7
I
spatulas.
know, right? It's like I don't want to buy a new one because I know it's
Right.
here
I
and then
know
we're
it's
gonna
here
have more.
somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, you know, trying to get all that handled, but moving is what it is. My husband's like, we're never moving again. And I'm like,
I
moving
don't
is
blame
not really
him.
that big of a deal, but
Yeah, right.
I moved so much as a kid that I'm just like, it's fine. But
Yeah,
he's
no.
he's
I
very
just
like he can't handle the clutter and the mess. He's like, my brain cannot function. And I'm like, I just
Just
hyper
go with the
focus,
flow.
you know?
Yeah.
And then I like go to a corner that it's like, at least I have a bed, that like
Yeah.
I can sleep in and just like there's mess out there, or whatever.
Yeah. I could just stay here forever. I don't have to be out there.
Exactly. But he's like, I cannot function in this space. I'm like, all right. All right, we'll fix it.
That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of weird because they had redone so much in the house too that we didn't have things like, a toilet paper holder or like a towel
Oh,
rack or even like
yeah.
racks in the closets to like hang clothes. So we're like, oh, we have to install all of that because they had
Those are kind
redone.
of weird things to not include.
Well, yeah, it was like they renovated the whole thing. So it was
Mhm.
like, there's like brand new flooring and like they like fully reframed a whole floor, like the frame, like so
Oh,
like
wow.
the walls and like drywall and everything. So there was a lot of work they did, but then we're like, oh, there are just like all these tiny things that just have to be done that are things you just move into a house and think will be there. So we were
Yeah.
like, oh, we have to like hang up like closet racks and like shower curtain rods and things, that normally
Right?
you think would be there. So just like all the little projects, but it's fine.
Yay. So fun.
Unfortunately, because it's like fresh paint and everything, I do anything. I like bump a wall and my husband's like, I see you dented
Oh,
our
God.
wall there. I'm like,
Oh,
all right,
no.
you carry it up for me.
Yeah, right? Sorry, I nicked the wall.
Like,
Our
that's what the
dogs,
little putty is for,
yes,
right?
exactly. Like our
So,
dogs are so big and slobbery that we have to clean slobber off the walls all
yeah.
the time. And sometimes
Mhm.
we don't notice it because it'll be
Yeah.
on, we've had it on the ceiling. I mean, like they shake their heads and it just goes
Whoa.
way high. And I'm like, oh crap, now I gotta
Yikes.
clean all that. And then
Oh
it's
my
there for too
goodness.
long. And so then you just have to repaint.
Oh, right. It stains it. Yeah.
So
Oh. Yeah.
yeah.
We have three dogs. Two are itty bitty and old. So
Yeah.
they're like, I mean, they honestly can just nap most of the day. But we
Which is
have one that's
perfect.
like a little over a year who's a puppy. He's a
Hmm.
Samoyed, so he's just a great big
Oh,
white
he's a
polar bear
floofball.
floof.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like my husband's like, "What is this water all over?" And I'm like, "You know that he drools, right? Like he splashes everywhere when he drinks water out of the bowl and it just gets all over the kitchen floor. He
Hmm.
like drools everywhere because he's just like
Yes, so fun.
and then there's like hair, and I'm like, my
Yeah.
little dogs do not shed. They have to be groomed, but they don't shed.
Right?
But it was like my husband's dream dog. And then there's this
Aw.
family he knows that do dog sled racing, and they had an accidental litter that they
Okay.
had to cancel like three races because he was like, well, my lead sled dog's pregnant. And he's like, I don't know what happened. We left him alone for like 10 minutes.
Doesn't take
But he was
long.
like, they have this huge litter with like 11 puppies and they need homes. Can we go get one? And we had to like drive like 3 hours to this farm in the middle of nowhere.
Oh my gosh,
But
that's
I'm like, you got
hilarious.
your dream dog. So I'm like,
Yes.
it's not my little ones. They don't shed. They
No.
don't make a mess. Daisy's only 6.5 pounds.
Oh yeah.
And they're old, so they're like lazy and boring.
Perfect. That's the
Yeah.
perfect thing.
And
Yep.
then we have this like giant, happy, cuddly, playful floof too, who is
Yeah.
messy, but we love him anyway.
That's good. That's good. I'm
He
sure he's
weirdly
got a lot
still
of
has
personality.
hypoallergenic. Like he
Oh,
doesn't have
really?
the dander, I guess. So
Okay.
he blows his coat twice a year.
Yeah.
So it'll be like when the seasons change, it's like
Hmm.
all the hair. But like he doesn't have the dander, so he's still better for
Oh,
allergies, which is good.
that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I agreed. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't have a dog I'm gonna be like
Oh
constantly,
yeah,
you
no.
know. But yeah, he's fun. He just, like you were saying, he drools and stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's okay. You'll be all right.
sometimes I'm like, go work with dad. Like you
Yeah.
just go. Dad gets to keep you today. He works
Yep.
from home, so he like has a
Oh,
little office
perfect.
room and like I'm like, you just go hang out with dad today.
Yes, that is perfect.
Or if he's naughty or too feisty, I'm like, I can't handle you right now.
No.
You gotta go to dad.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but you're doing more fun stuff. And he's just
Yeah.
at a computer. And
No.
I'm like,
Sorry.
you gotta go. We'll play later. So yeah,
Right.
he just has all that energy. He's like, I was born to run through the
I know.
tundra. And I'm like, well, sorry, you are owned by people who live in a city.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, he loves the dog park and different things. So
Well,
we
that's
try.
good.
Yeah, it's I kind of see dogs as like children, you know. You can
Yeah.
put them in a crate is like the one difference.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
But like otherwise they just feel like having a child to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll change
It's
my
about,
mind.
no, it's about the same.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I told you because I haven't told everyone yet, but I am pregnant, so we will have a baby
Yay!
in
That's
like May. We
exciting.
should have a baby. So
Okay.
I'll
That's
figure
very
out the
exciting.
difference. Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
I'm like, dogs are good practice, I think.
I think so too. Like almost all of the rules that apply to dogs apply to children.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then at least, dogs like you forever. At some
Oh,
point,
I
your kids
know.
don't like you.
That's what something I've mentioned to my husband multiple times. I'm like, I think our kids are gonna like you better. And he's like, nah, the baby's gonna love you more. And I'm like, that's just because I have boobs. Like,
Yeah, right?
I'm like, I really think this little boy is gonna like you better.
Yeah,
I feel like I will be fun at times, but also be like, cut that out, you know?
right,
And then
right.
my husband is just so patient and like calm and steady like a rock. And I'm
Hmm.
like very ADHD and stuff. And I'm like, I anticipate that they're gonna be like, we like dad better. Like, especially if they're in trouble, you know? I feel like I'll be more of the like day in, day out parent. Like I feel like I'll be fun at times, but I'll
Yeah,
also just be like impatient at times and stuff too,
yeah,
and like snip at him or whatever. But long term, I'm like, it's a boy. He's gonna like you better.
yeah. Well, you never
Like,
know. I mean, maybe
boys
he likes
love their
theater the
mom.
best.
Maybe he'll be very into, maybe he'll be like, Mom, I want to do voiceover. And I'll be like,
That'll
yes,
be awesome.
bond. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
Good. Yeah.
See.
Yeah. Well, we will see. We'll see.
Yes.
My family had four kids and we are all very different from each other. So
Oh, I'm sure.
I feel like, with my dogs, I'm like, they all have very distinctly different personalities too. So I'm like,
Yes.
you never know. I actually
No.
hope he's more like my husband, but he's always like, I hope he's more like you.
Aw.
Like maybe he'll be a good combo, or maybe he'll be nothing like either of us. We don't
Which will
know.
be interesting all on its
A
own.
learning experience for sure. Yeah.
Yes. That's all right. You'll be fine. You'll be a
If
good
you
mom.
want,
Yeah.
I would love for you to try doing some recordings. You can even take like older recordings and things. I like to actually save, like, here's just the raw vocal and then also
Yes.
save the edited version, like, always have two versions. That way, if they come back and ask for something, I can go take the raw version and kind of restart. A lot of the time, if you have the project file on your computer, you can
Hmm.
go like edit, undo.
Okay.
Um, so if you save that project file, you can sometimes edit, undo, but sometimes those project files get corrupted or something weird happens. So I like to
Yeah.
save the raw vocal as well as an MP3,
Okay.
as well as the edited, and then also I'll save the project file. Um,
Okay.
just so I have the option. So I'll put like edited this MP3, unedited this MP3, and then I'll also save the project file of that.
Okay.
Just so I have options.
Yeah.
It gives you flexibility until the project is like closed and done. So I'll have like a
Okay.
folder with like all the working files. And then once it's like out there in the world, I'm like, I don't need to save this anymore. So I put it on like an external hard drive or I just delete it because I'm like,
Okay.
I did the job, I got paid, I sent it off,
Right.
it's
We're done.
done. And I'm like, I don't need to store it anymore. So I just get rid of it.
Okay.
Um, or put it on an external hard drive if it's something like I want to keep.
Right.
Um, just so it's not clogging up my computer.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
so I would say go back if you have some files that you can practice these edits on, or just
Okay.
as you're doing auditions and things, start doing this and then upload those to your profiles and things. And I would say all the time you're going to be improving, both as a voice
Right.
actor and with your editing skills. And so as you go, I try to early on, I would try to update things pretty much as I went. But
Hmm.
now I tend to update things like once a year. I say in January, like as the new year is starting, it's usually a slower time right after the holidays. So I'll
Right.
just update all of my materials. I'll send my agents new materials, like everything, my profiles, I'll update everything. for the new year because my voice might have changed. Like I'm growing, I'm changing. I'm
Right.
37 now. When I started voiceover, I was like 22, you know? And I'm like, okay, like my voice is probably a little bit different now and that kind of thing. So, um, and even like personality style. My mom even sometimes is like, "Oh, I've never heard like this particular sound come out of you or like nuance or whatever." And she's like, "Wow, there's a lot more like maturity and depth there that I haven't heard before." And life experience can change how you
Right.
act stuff. So
Yeah.
updating your stuff just as a regular part of your practice, I think is really important. And then I know people who are like, oh, I would like take down all the old stuff. I kind of like leaving the old stuff because I'm like, they can see the progression and how I've improved. And I don't mind that. I'm like,
Okay.
that's beautiful to see like the older files where I started and see where I've gotten to. I
Right.
listen to my beginning jobs and I like cringe and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like really cool to listen to them and then listen to where I am now. So
Yes.
some people delete all the old stuff and only upload new stuff. I tend to just leave it there and put the new stuff at the top and the old stuff at the bottom. They're not going to listen to all of it anyway.
Right. Right.
Some sites only allow a certain number of things to be on them. So I'll delete the old stuff and upload the new stuff for those. But yeah, I think since you're in this process of like continually growing right now and learning
Right.
so many new things, I would just update as you go. So it's like I
Okay.
do this audition, I practice all the editing things, I'm gonna send it in, and then I'm gonna go upload it as a sample on my profile,
Perfect.
just at the same time.
Yeah.
Just make it
Okay.
part of the process. It takes like, 2 minutes to go,
Right.
at it. So if it just kind of becomes part of your process, I think that's great.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also if you want to like do a couple practice ones without me there to be like checking things with you,
Okay.
um, I'm perfectly happy. Just like send me an email of them and then send me a text and be like, I just emailed you. And then I'll know
Okay.
to look for it amongst my, 10,000
Around
emails.
here. Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah. It's okay.
you know.
Okay. To each
And
their own.
so yeah, so just like send me a text and be like, I just sent you stuff, and I'll go take a look at it, take a listen to it, and I can point out things that I like, things that I would work on. We had
Okay.
already worked on the mistletoe. That's why I didn't give any like
Yeah.
acting notes. I was listening more for the like editing process type things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But honestly, I think like it ended up sounding beautiful. Um, and I know that like as you edit it, I always feel like in the editing process, I'm like, I lost a little bit of my like vivacious quality.
Yeah.
But it just makes it all a little more streamlined and smoothed. And for
Right.
narration, especially, we want it to not ever be jarring. We want it to be very like consistent throughout. So it's just a little bit of a different style. If I was editing for like a character or a commercial, I might do things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But for narration, I do think the ACX standards, if you just kind of like stick with that, even if you're doing projects for other people, it's always
Right.
going to sound pretty seamless and a good flow and sound more like that kind of narration sound they're looking for.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I
Super.
also wanted to mention because I was thinking through, I like keep notes on all my students. I was looking back. Have you checked out Bidalgo?
No.
I think especially with you upping your editing savvy, I would check it out.
Yes.
They're very strict about who they allow to be on the platform. So you have to be like professional quality or they will just delete your profile. So
Okay.
I don't usually tell people to join it early on. I say like
Okay.
feel like you're really confident and you feel like a professional before you would do it. But it's a great site to be on. So and you can build your profile and like poke around without paying for a membership. And then they'll even start sending you like invites to things. I do think you have to have a like paid membership to audition for things,
Okay.
but it's one that I definitely think is worth being on. They're very proactive. Like the person who started the website is very pro voice actor. Like he's more for the voice actor than for like
Okay.
the companies and stuff. And but he is very strict about like you have to have professional quality. So if you put a profile up and they like look over it and they're like, sorry, you're not really like at the sound quality we're looking for at this point, they will delete your profile.
Okay.
And just not let you be on the site. So
Oh, yay.
so yeah, unfortunately. But especially with like amping up your editing prowess, I think now would be a good time to check it out.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I will do
And like you've
that.
had a few jobs and things, so you can
Yeah,
put those things in the profile. Don't talk about yourself like you're a beginner. You're not. Like
right.
you've had jobs, you've done voiceover projects, you have connections in the industry, and you've built yourself a really nice setup for recording and things. So, you know, talk about yourself like I am a legit voice actor, I'm a professional.
Yes.
This is a job. Um, that you feel competent in. But that's one I would definitely check out.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. I'll do that.
Yeah, I've had a couple of students try to join it too early and then they got their profiles deleted and were sad. And I was like, I'm
Aw,
sorry.
yeah.
Your quality is not up to standards yet. I'm like,
We'll
we'll
get
get there.
there. We'll
It's
get
okay.
there.
Yeah, because it could be like your acting. It could also be the editing or like your mics that you're using. Like they're listening for all of that. And if they just feel like you're not up to par yet, they'll just delete you.
Right.
So we don't like that. We
Yay.
don't want to be deleted. But I feel like you're in a good spot to build
Okay.
that. And if you want to like send me your profile so I can look over it, I'd be happy to do that as
Okay.
well. But yeah, that's one I would definitely look at. I think it's definitely worth being on as
Okay.
a voice actor. It's one of the better ones for sure.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Because that's helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always am like, I wish I could like tell you guys, yeah, you can be on this site for free. Like honestly, like
Yeah.
the better paying jobs are going to be from the pay to audition sites, which I hate.
Yeah.
Hate, hate, hate. And like I know people in the industry who are really fighting to like be like, why are these big, companies, production companies not paying for these fees instead of the actors who make hardly anything? And
Right.
it's a big industry thing and it's like a big fight. And I know a lot of people who are, advocating for change and fingers crossed.
Yes. Yeah, that would be nice. You have,
Fingers crossed,
yeah.
because I'm like, I hate paying, 600 to Voice123 and 500 a year to voices.com. And then voices.com also wants to take 20% on top of that and this kind of thing. I
Oh,
hate that.
nice. Yeah,
So I'm
no.
much more happy to like be like my agents just take a flat percentage and
Right.
that's it. I'm like, thank
Yay.
you. I would love to pay you for getting me a great job, provided
Right.
that you did a good service for me. It's like,
Yes.
of course I will give you a percentage. Happy to. But like the
Yeah.
websites are like, pay us all this money and then also we're going to take a percentage. And I'm like, you suck.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know, I get that they have hosting fees and things, but I'm like, it's not that much. Come
No,
on.
no.
Like, you can host me for like $30 a year or something, not like hundreds of dollars,
Right.
whatever. Ugh. But yeah, but I'll
Yes.
go, it is a pay to be there site, but I do think it's a better one. So,
Okay.
worth being on. Um, and like the ones that are specifically voiceover are going to have more opportunities. Like I like backstage.com, but it doesn't have as many opportunities because they
Right.
have so many things on there, right? So
Right.
it's like it's not just voiceover. But you also get the magazine subscription, which keeps you up to date on everything happening in the industry, which is very helpful. So it's like pros and cons to everything, but
Yeah.
it's like, ugh. There
Yeah.
was one site that like you might still be able, they have like a temporary you can be on for free kind of thing. Um, I think it was casting.com was the one. You could
Okay.
check and see, but again, they have other things too. It's not just explicitly voiceover. So
Right.
um, focusing specifically on voiceover can be great.
Yes.
So yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. I
All
will
right. So yeah,
definitely look at that.
Bidalgo is I know it's a weird name. Bodagl. Oh wait, Bodalgo.
Okay.
Bodalgo is the one. I know it's a funky. It's not like voices.com.
Right. Can't
So
be
yeah, check that
simple.
one out.
No. Okay.
Yeah. You
Awesome. I
sound
will.
great. The track
Thank
sounded
you.
great. I think you're in a good
Awesome.
spot. So keep up the good work and
Okay.
I'll see you soon. Do you want to schedule the next one?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Let's go ahead.
Yeah. Sure. Are we trying to do like about like monthly?
Yeah.
Is Thursday evening good?
That's fine. Or like I work from home on Mondays
Sure.
and Fridays. So like the ninth.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, great. Yeah, so the 9th, you're Eastern, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so I could do 12:15. I can do 3:45.
12:15 works.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All righty. Yeah.
Super.
So
Awesome.
12:45, March 9th. Okie dokie. Sounds good.
Oh,
All right.
12:45. Is that what you said?
I'm sorry, 15.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm saying this.
It's
I
okay.
put it in right. I said the wrong thing. I don't know
That's
what's
fine.
wrong with my brain.
You're pregnant.
12:15.
Perfect. I will see you next month.
Yeah, I have a meeting before that, but it ends at noon, so I should be good. And then
Okay.
I
Well,
have like
if you
a
end up
little
being
chunk of
late,
time.
okay. If you end up being late, that's fine. I just
Oh,
have
okay.
to leave my house at 2.
Oh, all right, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have
So,
anything right after that either, so we're
okay.
we're good.
Yay. All right.
So gotta be done
Perfect.
by 2. We can do
Yes.
that. All righty. Well,
All right.
beautiful work today. I know
Thanks,
the editing
Sandy.
stuff is not the most fun part. The acting is
It's
the
not,
most
but
fun
it's
part.
okay. It is.
But it is helpful. And now you've got the settings saved in your Audacity. And it should be hopefully a little more like straightforward and like you've done it now. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
cool.
I'm excited.
And if you get stuck
Yay.
or are like, I forgot something, just let me know.
I will.
Alrighty.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah, I would probably recommend just like write out for yourself like a step by step, and just like keep it by your computer for right now. And
Okay.
then it'll just become like second nature, but that way you can check it.
Yes. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it'll take a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to be like, wait, did I forget that one? Did I do it? You can just
Ah,
like boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
right.
I think it's helpful.
Awesome.
Even
It is.
like in the kitchen or the bathroom, being like, okay, did you do this? It's
Right.
helpful. Like with the new house, we were like, maybe we should get a label maker and like mark where things are. Because I'm like, where did I put the silverware? Where did I put the dishes? Like,
That's a pretty
which
brilliant
cabinet?
idea for a little while, right? Yeah.
Even if eventually we took them down, I'm like, my brain is overloaded right now. I don't know where things are. Even after they're put away, I don't know where they are. So.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah. Alrighty. So I will plan to
All
see you
right.
on the 9th, and I'm
Sounds
excited.
perfect.
It'll be great.
Yay. Thanks, Vandy. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Bye, Christy.